Hello, hello, hello! I am back once again! You're here with LapCat, the cat upon a lap. Last time, I was talking about my solution to high urban poverty. I'd briefly spoken about two parts of the solution. First of which is having very high, not educational standards, but high young person student involvement at a school, such as really large clubs or a lot of clubs that can hold, where each one holds a small amount of kids. So you ultimately still have the same number of involvement. Up until the point where you are able to have a large number of kids being able to use school as a way to escape violence or outright just being off the streets rather than being at home. That way school becomes the safe haven. That would be ideal. So there was a service truck like thing, right in front of me. I'm going to pass it right now. Yeah, it's absolutely a service truck, but I don't know what they're doing because they're going really slow, and it doesn't look like they're spraying anything either. But they have their flashers on, so I guess they're safe. Continuing. The second part is having specialized loans or grants provided by the government, such that it's directed towards businesses to increase their security, to politely refuse sales to gang members. Politely refuse, of course. They don't have to refuse. It's more like just asking nicely. And then third is to hopefully hire more people locally so that they don't have to move towards illegal means to collect money. My next idea, third, would be to support the idea of microloans. If you aren't aware, a microloan is the concept of some loan amount less than $5,000, which a lot of banks usually aren't willing to provide. Like, you could get a microloan of like $100, and then you can pay it back over the next few months. The issue with these is that to actually make a profit, you usually have to charge very high interest rates. And here in the US, it's not a popular idea. But a lot of studies have shown that among impoverished areas, albeit these were only tested usually foreignly, and rural, like farmland, countryside areas with poverty, did microloans seriously help out the economy. So I'm not sure if it necessarily help out in a highly dense urban situation, but I don't believe it would hurt. Keep in mind, the microloans, by and large, are designed to help. I'm just going to talk about all the different ideas I have, and then I'll go into each one in depth later on. Continuing with idea number 4. It is to make the local environment, that is where the people live, and the streets included, look better. Time and time again, you can usually equate the better looking surroundings to having a better social life. And because of that, I believe that if the school was given like $200 or $300 for paint buckets and brushes, and just had the kids go on a low-key field trip to walk to like the next building over and just paint that side of the wall, I think that alone would seriously help the local community. And it's true, it's not for the purpose of like covering graffiti. True, that would be nice, but that kind of defeats the purpose. The whole idea is that, to me, no like conscious adult is so villainous as to outright destroy a child's artwork, even if it is done by a group of kids and it's not with any real style, it's just paint on a wall, like 4 or 5 different kinds. I really struggle to believe that there's a person so morally corrupt that they would do that, but there probably is, and I'm just being naive. With that said, if the streets were regularly cleaned up, the buildings were painted rather than them being just a dull brick, the usual brick or concrete color, and if there was more greenery, such as trees, vines, grasses and such, yeah, I believe that there would be a massive difference in the mentality of the people living there. And the biggest reason why I'm citing the idea of this is that there have been a few different experiments done, large-scale social experiments, where local impoverished communities were granted the right to paint their buildings, and like appreciation for just life. So I guess civilian morale, like soldier morale, civilian morale, increased sharply. I believe that happened with a few different neighborhoods here in America, as well as down south in South America. I think Brazil was one of them, like Rio de Janeiro. I'm not sure. There's a TED Talk about it. I'm sure you can find it. I don't remember the proper title, but I'm pretty sure it's like on Netflix though. Maybe. Might not still be. So those are the 4 things. Turning now. Okay. What was the 5th thing? Okay, so there's have kids be at school, like all up until midnight. Push for grants and loans for businesses, small businesses. Third, push for microloans to be able to be sold in the local community. And 4th is to basically beautify the neighborhood. I'll admit only that 3rd option is really cheap, where it just tells like local banks like, hey, we won't charge you as high rates if you do microloans in this area, which I think would be really simple to do. What was the 5th thing? I don't really remember. Alright, I'm just going to go really in depth into each topic one by one.